Texas Democrats in Congress are ripping Donald Trump's plan to redraw their state's political map. Next week, the Republican-controlled Texas legislature will consider a new set of congressional maps during a special session. With the Democrats in Austin currently out of power, Republicans have a supermajority. Members of the state's congressional delegation anticipate that the new districts will continue the historic pattern of violating the Federal Voting Rights Act, which dilutes the votes of racial minorities. Now, Trump, he doesn't see this as gerrymandering. He makes it clear he just wants power.
Calling in for a complete redrawing of the congressional map ahead of next year?
Just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
And
but we have a couple of other states where we'll pick up seats also.
No, that's what gerrymandering is. And so he wants to redraw. He wants to redraw the seats so they'll be able to have more power. Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett explains that this is the usual racism coming out of the state of Texas.
What would happen if they gerrymander? Can you talk on that? Thank you.
Yeah, so first of all, it hasn't quite been said clearly that Texas has always been found to be intentionally discriminatory. And so I want y'all to understand the makeup of my state. The state is a majority minority state. And what this legislature historically has done is what they plan to do again, is to dilute the voices of people of color in order to make sure that they can get to where they're trying to go. We saw this Department of Justice decided to put out a letter, and what did they do? We only have 4 seats that are represented by black folk, where the vast majority of the people that get to decide who they have represent them are black. They decided to attack 3 of the 4 seats that we have in the state. They decided to go after a Latina. They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say we are going to dilute minority voices. So we know that the courts, ever since we've had a Voting Rights Act, have always found this state to be intentionally discriminatory. That is what they are going to do. So I need people of color to understand that the scheme of the Republicans has consistently been to make sure that they mute our voices so that they can go ahead and have an oversized say in this. So I fully anticipate that's exactly where they're going with this map. It's the only way to do it. We didn't understand how we got to the map that they gave us last time, because that state was grown by 95% people of color. They went out of their way to make sure that we got 0 new seats for people of color. So that's exactly what they're going to do this time.
Well, this here was a tweet from California Governor Gavin Newsome when Jake Sherman posted, President Donald Trump told Texas Republicans on a call this morning that the GOP will seek to get 5 new red seats in the mid-decade redistricting effort in Texas. Gavin Newsome said 2 can play that game. He later posted this tweet here. Let me find it right here. To this video, he goes, there are currently 9 Republicans in the California congressional delegation. Just thought folks might like to know that fun fact. I mean, here's the whole deal here, Michael. Payback. I'm sorry. If they pull that crap in Texas, Democrats in Maryland, Illinois, California, New York should do the same.
Absolutely. And California. Yeah, they should do the same. And it's going to have a devastating impact in California also. I saw Jasmine Crockett talk about this on the weekend on MSNBC as well. I know we talked about it some last week when you had Jasmine Crockett on also, Roland. So, yeah, this is good old-fashioned white supremacist gerrymandering. Donald Trump can try to deny it, just like he denied knowing about Project 2025, just like he denied reading Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. He can deny it all he wants to. But the proof is in their actions. The proof is in the pudding. And according to reporting from outlets like New York Times, and we talked about this last week, Trump called Governor Greg Abbott, asking him to redraw the district lines. And, they're targeting 5 districts, and they're trying to eliminate people like Jasmine Crockett. So we need to, as African Americans, we need to see these moves being made. They're playing right in front of our face. So this is why we have to turn out, vote our numbers, and vote these people, vote these Republicans out of office and stop them. Stop what they're trying to do to us.
Randy, one of the candidates who's running for the 18th congressional race, that's to replace the late Sylvester Turner, who replaced the late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. This is what he actually posted. He said, blue states must gerrymander Republicans the same way they're doing us. Blue states must ditch, quote, independent redistricting committees for now to force Republicans into a national gerrymandering ban. They were created with good intentions, but times are different. Fight fire with fire. He's right. I believe in independent, committees doing this. They tried to. The voters in Ohio actually passed that. They passed it. The Republicans said, we're not going to listen to you. They tried the same thing in Michigan. So even when the will of the voters, when they do it, Republicans still say, we don't give a damn because they want power. Democrats had better understand what's going on here.
And they better understand that we are at war and we keep trying to play by the rules when the Republicans don't play by the rules and change the rules and do anything to win. And so this is a mud fight. This is a mud fight. And so we do need to do to them what they're doing to us. It's the only way we have a chance. And we can't continue to say we're going to do it the proper way or the way that it should be done. We have to fight fire, as he said, with fire. We need to ensure that our voices are being heard because they're doing everything in their power to ensure that they aren't.
You know, the thing that trips me here, I just sit here and look at these decisions and look at how how Republicans literally just say, we don't care. There was a voter-approved initiative in Utah. They're like, we don't care. We just saw the voters in Missouri pass a voter-approved. Republicans like, yeah. When it came to sick leave, when it came to that, they're like, yeah, we don't care. And so they don't. And so this is where I have been saying for the longest. Democrats are trying to play a game, Mustafa, that is operating. They're using old rules where the opposition is saying, I'm sorry, what rules? We don't care. And then when they don't like it, they'll cry foul. That's why you have to say, no. We're going to break your backs. We're going to completely go after you. We're not playing nice. Democrats have got to play a ruthless game because they have a ruthless opponent.
No, I agree. I mean, here's the reality of the situation, right? So Republicans will punk Democrats until Democrats get tired of it. It's like the kid on the playground who, the bully comes up to you and takes your lunch money and continues to jack you up every day. And until you decide you're going to fight back, they're going to continue to do it. So, when I see Jasmine and others actually speaking out in a very effective way and really putting and highlighting, not just the injustices that are going on, but you don't have to take it. You have to ask the question, why aren't more people actually doing that? Why don't we actually let people know that when they talk about fiscal responsibility, that as we talked about earlier, it's the blue states who are the ones who are subsidizing the red states. So until you stop allowing someone to just run all over you and do what's necessary and stop operating from an antiquated playbook, that's from 30 or 40 years ago when there used to be some humility, when there used to be some folks who were trying to, govern through bipartisan sets of actions. You got to have a 21st century playbook now, and you've got to understand who these folks are and what they're the lengths that they're actually willing to go to not only hold on to power, but also to hold on to wealth and to, continue to strip away any opportunity for fairness to be a part of the process. So I'm glad that there are some folks who are starting to stand up. I hope more people do it. I do hope sometime in the future that we get back to actually governing in a way that makes sense.
Yep.
But until we get there, we got to do what you got to do.
And this is from Punchbowl News. Ohio Republicans, this is June 2025, weigh how ruthless to be in redistricting. And so what does it say? It said that the current GOP drawn map has 10 Republicans and 5 Democrats. Ohio's unusual redistricting laws mandate a redraw ahead of 2026 because the current map passed without bipartisan support. In the 2022 cycle, the Ohio Supreme Court reined in the GOP legislature. But, and what do we always say when it comes to Supreme Court races? It says now Republicans control all but one seat on Ohio's top court. And the question is whether they'll try to draw a map that could elect 12 or 13 Republicans. The 2 Democrats on the chopping block, Representatives Marcy Kaptur in Northwest Ohio and CBC member Amelia Sykes in the Akron-based 13th district. And so they're looking to do this, folks, not just in Texas, but Ohio as well. Remember, Democrats only need to pick up 5 seats to control the House. Right now, North Carolina, there used to be a 10-3 Republican majority. Then when Democrats controlled the Supreme Court, it went to 7-7. That's those 4 seats Republican control. And guess what? Now it's back to 10-3. So that's why they're trying to redraw the lines, because they are deathly afraid that they could lose anywhere from 8 to 10 seats next year, thus giving the House control to the Democrats. And they don't want to do that. And so we'll be watching what happens in all of these states.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.